At 4:23 in the morning, Polish airspace was violated by one of the cruise missiles launched by the long-range aviation of the Russian Federation. Their target was critical infrastructure in the western part of Ukraine. From the early morning hours, all air defense systems, all Air Force systems were activated in Poland. Monitoring included more than a dozen missiles heading towards the Lviv region. The Russian missile traveled at a speed of 800 kilometers per hour at an altitude of about 400 meters and crossed Poland's space 2 kilometers deep. The object flew into our space near the village of Oserdów in Lublin Voivodeship and stayed there for 39 seconds. All procedures that can ensure the safety of our airspace were activated. Among other things, we activated at that time already our and allied aviation to ensure this safety. Looking at the probable trajectory of the missile's flight, the concerns may have been most justified. Over a significant area of Ukraine, the missile was moving toward Poland. Our armed forces chose not to shoot down the missile for several reasons. First of all, it was very briefly in our space, out of range of our land-based fire teams. We knew from the trajectory that this missile would leave our airspace. Professor Piotr Grochmalski has no doubt that the flight trajectory of the maneuvering missile was carefully planned and is not a coincidence. Violation of Polish airspace is tantamount to violation of NATO airspace. Trajectories are very carefully prepared. This is not an accident. This is not an incidental action. On the one hand, we are dealing with testing the response of both Poland and NATO. On the other hand, Ukrainian defenses may not have been prepared for an attack from that direction, to take advantage of the kind of NATO space to hit back, as it were, from behind. This is yet another incident related to the violation of Polish airspace by objects coming from the area of the Russian Federation or Belarus. When Poland's current rulers were in opposition, each time in similar situations, there were calls for the resignation of the former head of the defensive ministry. Today, such voices among those in power are obviously absent. This was the case, for example, when a missile was found near Bydgoszcz. If Minister Mariusz Błaszczak did not know that a Russian missile flew over Poland, this is a huge scandal. If he knew and did nothing about it, it is blatant irresponsibility and playing with Poland's security. Both are disqualifying. Resign. Current ruling politicians, while still in opposition, thundered when Belarusian helicopters crossed Polish airspace on August 1st, 2023. Radosław Sikorski even talked about shooting them down. If those helicopters flew on the Polish side for 10 minutes, there was plenty of time to shoot them down. After those events, while the Ministry of Defense was still supervised by Mariusz Błaszczak, the areas bordering Russia and Belarus were reinforced with Polish forces. There is a likelihood that our troops could get permission to shoot down, and Belarus already knows about it. A few days ago, Deputy Prime Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz made a similar decision, and more troops will soon be sent to the eastern and northern provinces. The Polish Foreign Ministry is demanding an explanation from the Russian Federation over the violation of our airspace. This is the third such object since the outbreak of the war in Ukraine that has flown over our country's territory.